Hey everybody, Galley Engineering here, and welcome to episode 18 of Ragnamod V. In between episodes, I completely redid my living chest plate again, so I have Fierce Strike on it, which is what I really want. I made this training bracelet to make sure I always had Fierce Strike. However, before I got that, I unfortunately couldn't keep myself from getting Dwarven Might, so I may have to remove that again. But this is my layout right now. My Healthy and my Nocturnal Prowess are level 10, as they always are, and my Stormtrooper level 5. So, man, 290 of 300. I really got to remove that Dwarven Might. But I also went through the Mining Dimension and the Aether and collected all of these V crystals and Silverwood logs, Greatwood logs, their associated saplings, these Shimmer leaves, Quicksilver drops, which you get from Silverwood. Whenever you break the leaves, you have a chance of getting Quicksilver and saplings. Because today, we're getting into Thaumcraft. So it has been a while since I've done Thaumcraft. I don't even think I've done a 1.12 pack with Thaumcraft. In 1.10, it was still very much unfinished, and it's still unfinished anyway. Asanor has completely dropped Thaumcraft. It's still at beta 26 if I'm not mistaken. Yep, we're still at beta 26. So this is Thaumcraft 6, and there's a lot of stuff that I am not familiar with, namely the Void Rifts. And because of those Void Rifts, which sound incredibly dangerous, they'll keep growing and eating like black holes, I am going to do all of my Thaumcraft stuff in the Mining Dimension. And it is for that reason that actually I have already collected some V crystals earlier and slept, which means once you collect your first V crystals, it'll tell you to sleep subtly. And then when you do sleep, it will drop a book for you. If I could just find out where that book is. And one of these days I should definitely stop doing the magic mod. So there we are, Strange Dreams. I should stop doing the magic mod so I can actually get an ME system up and running. Because I'm running out of space and this looks terrible. I had the strangest dream last night. In the dream, I took 3 of those strange crystals I've been finding and ground them with a handful of redstone in a bowl using a piece of flint. The crystals had to be of different types, but if I did it properly, then the result was a strange glowing dust. In the dream, I took the dust and sprinkled it on a bookcase, but the dream ended before I saw what happened. I wonder, should I do what the dream showed? I have the impression the dust was going to reveal something wondrous, but dangerous. So, just like that said, what we're going to do is we're going to make this Salus Mundus, so 3 different crystals, redstone, flint, and a bowl. So I'm going to make 16 of them. Oh wow, it does not consume the flint. I was assuming it wasn't going to consume the bowl, but not consuming the flint is a bonus. I've also set up this bookcase right here. So, quest complete Thaumcraft, progression, we'll take you, and then where's the Thaumcraft page, just so we can have it open. So, the first thing we're going to do is make this Thaumonomicon. No description. So, take the Salus Mundus. There we go. I now have a Thaumonomicon, which is going to teach me everything I need to know about Thaumcraft. I don't know how complete it's going to be. I've not yet begun this research. And, yeah, after that, I'm going to just theory crafting, make a scanner, and go on my merry way. And let's see what this got. Ooh, barbecue sauce, cola, soda. Oh, so it's the American dream. Nice. Except for the barbecue sauce on your hamburger. So a quick note before we continue. As I said in the intro, I am very unfamiliar with 1.12 Thaumcraft, a Thaumcraft version 6. Especially, it's far more complete than the last time I played it in 1.10. So I'm going to be going through this as if I knew nothing about it. So I'm going to be learning as you learn. To that extent, I'm also going to be reading every single step because I don't want to mess up. As I said, the Void Rifts that can be created have the ability to destroy entire chunks. So I'm just going to be going through methodically, carefully, and teaching and learning as I go. So let's begin with first steps. Who would have thought that a few sprinkles of dust could have created this marvelous book? It is mostly blank, but it hints at a powerful new form of magic, thaumaturgy. Firstly, I will need to study the magical world that has been shown to me. For that, I will need a tool, a thermometer, the book calls it. A normal crafting table won't do, however, since the magical energies I need to channel while crafting it are quite delicate. A sprinkling of Salus Mundus on a mundane crafting table should solve that. The book has taught me the proper incantation to use, so it should be a simple matter. To keep myself on track, I will make a list of all the requirements that need to be met on the first page of each new entry, which is what down here is, these items that need to be crafted, the Arcane Workbench. If you also look at here, it says that current stage 1 of 3 for first steps. So I already have the, I'm not sure if it's Salus or Salus Mundus, I'm going to call it Salus, just because. But with that, sprinkle it on a crafting table, same that we did with the bookcase. And there we go, we have an Arcane Workbench. In the Arcane Workbench, I have 156 V in this chunk, and here's where I can put the individual crystals. And other than that, it's a normal crafting table, except for we need to use it to craft all of the all the thaumaturgy stuff. So, current stage 1 of 3, complete, mark complete. And now I have a second step here. Progress. I now have an Arcane Workbench at my disposal. It works much like a mundane crafting table and can be used as such. However, there are a few key differences. Firstly, many arcane recipes will require the use of those V crystals I've been finding of late. They act as a focus for the magical energy I need to channel into the items I craft. The book calls this magical energy V. Well, see, V crystals and then magical energy V. Supposedly this energy is all around me, but as yet I cannot perceive or measure it. It is time I craft a thermometer and use it to study the world around me. It should clearly mark those things I still need to examine. I have placed a bookmark to the thermometer recipe on the right. So over here, all of the things that I need to craft, the shapeless recipe in order to craft the Salus Mundus, and then the thermometer, which is gold ingots and a glass pane and any one of the crystals. It costs 20 V in order to create this item. There used to be magic wands you have to craft, but I have not seen the magic wands in the in JEI. So it sounds like this is what I need now instead of using the wand. Alright, here we are. I have my 4 gold ingots and my glass pane, but of course nothing is showing up here in order to create. That's what these V crystals are for. I'm going to throw all 6 of them in here, and it will use 20 V in this chunk to make my thermometer. What the thermometer does is when you're looking through it, for some reason particles are not showing up. There we go. Alright, you see those blue particles right there? That means that I can study this. And now that I have that, I can complete. Oh, and observation fundamentals also needs to be done. So in order to get this observation fundamentals, I need to use the thermometer to scan as many possible things around here. I've learned something new. I've learned something new. Nothing new can be learned from this, so this ambrosium torch cannot be studied. But there are plenty of other things. Oh, shift. There we go. There we go. You see that I have learned something new, and I had a little icon appear right there. That means that observation fundamentals is now complete. So I'm going to complete that, and part 3 is going to show up for me. Such strange wonders are being revealed to me. Peering through the lens of the thermometer shows me a world coursing with magic. V, as the book calls it. Normally this energy is a pure ocean of magic that ebbs and flows, but it also permeates all things, both animate and inanimate. The book calls V in this state Essentia. Where V is formless and pure, Essentia is more rigid in its nature and falls into a multitude of clearly defined types, each mixing together with others to form greater and more complex types of Essentia. I am not quite sure if the matter it is bound to gives Essentia its nature, or that the very nature of matter depends on the Essentia it contains. This bears further study. I am keeping a log of all types of Essentia I discover. A bookmark on the left will show my current knowledge. For now I need to focus my energies elsewhere. Studying Essentia might be a good place to start. So, over here, this aspects of Essentia will show me all of the things that I could possibly study. So Herba is a combination of Victa and Terra. Ignis, Perditio are primal aspects, and Victus is Terra plus something else I have yet to study. Which is why with the thermometer, you need to go through and study as much stuff as possible. So nothing new can be learned from this, probably because it's an agricraft crop. If I actually planted normal sugarcane, it should be able to be studied. So over here, let's see if anything from astral sorcery can be studied. Nothing new. But yeah, that's really all you have to do with the thermometer is go through, look for the glowing, and there we go. we have learned that. Now, I'm not sure whether or not this mod is in here, but... Nope, apparently not. Okay, there is a mod that will allow you to use your thermometer and scan the things inside your inventory. And it's just an easier way to study all of the multitude of things. So I'm just going to run around studying as much as I possibly can, looking for those blue sparkles. And yeah, I'll be back with you once I have studied. There we go. Once I've studied a bunch of things. There are two main types of knowledge, observations and theories. They are further subdivided into main research categories like alchemy and artifice. Observations are notes and discoveries you may have made in the real world by scanning objects. Practical observation often gives insights into how things work, and by keeping field notes of those observations, you will slowly build a solid base of knowledge to work from. Theories, in a nutshell, are ways of understanding things through careful observation, rational thought, and practical experimentation. Much of thaumaturgical research requires crafting theories to better understand research categories. So down here, all of the observations I have made with my thermometer. And I've gone through quite a bit. Artifice being my highest one, because in this village over here, there's an Actually Additions hut. And most Actually Additions machines can be scanned with a thermometer and will give you quite a bit of artifice observation. So now we're going to get into the theory crafting portion, and for that I have clay, glass, ink sacs, feathers, and I think I need some books. But I'm going to open up the Thaumonomicon again, and theory crafting, current stage 1 of 2. For me to make any progress as a thaumaturge, I cannot rely on simply studying the world around me or stumbling upon ancient knowledge. I will need to make my own discoveries and expand my knowledge through experimentation. Crafting my own theories is the only way. I will need to create a comfortable workspace to do my research with ample supplies like writing materials and paper. I should craft some scribing tools to place upon the table. So the scribing tools are made with this glass file, feathers, and black dye. The glass files are the clay and the glass that I grabbed from the chest just a little bit earlier. So I'm going to craft, here we go, glass files, a full stack of them. And then with the, may as well, with the feathers and the ink sacs, gonna make scribing tools. It's more scribing tools than I honestly need for, I did not realize that it wouldn't stack like that. But that's fine, mistakes happen. So with that, now I'm going to grab some of my great wood from earlier. 1, 2, 3, 4. Going to make some planks, and I'm going to make, get you out of here, I'm going to make some slabs. So, put the planks here, the slabs here. Oh, must have that reversed. Slabs there, and then planks here. And there we go. Now I have a wood table. So, place down that wood table. Boop. And then my scribing tool should be able to go on it. There we go, scribing tools. So now I have the scribing tools. You see that wood table became a research table. And the research table will allow me to create some theories. Now that I have a workspace, I have to start performing some research. I can now formulate theories on how to manipulate magic to my own ends. Firstly, I should make sure the table has plenty of paper and I have ample ink for my scribing tools. I can now choose to start researching the theory. At the top of the page, I will see how much inspiration, represented by light bulbs, is available to me for this round of research. When I do, a stack of papers will appear. If I select them, I will be given the choice of 2 research paths I can follow. Each route will state what knowledge it will grant me, divided between 1 or more research categories. Some of the choices will require items. Items marked with a golden exclamation mark will be consumed if the card is chosen. Normally, I will only be able to pursue research categories that I have unlocked, though I am sure I might occasionally be able to discover completely new avenues of research. I can keep drawing to further my knowledge. I should note, however, that each choice I make will cost some of my inspiration. Once I run out, the research will be completed. The amount of initial inspiration available to me will increase as my knowledge of magic increases. My progress in research categories is shown as percentage. 100% completion represents 1 full theory. Getting less than 100% in a category still counts, however, and will be added to your current knowledge once you complete your research. It is possible to get more than 100% in a category. Only the highest category will get the full bonus, however. All others will lose 33% of their totals. Normally research is a bit scattershot. I can direct my research with the use of research aids. If I use certain nearby blocks, items, and curios during the research process, it will allow me to focus my research in a certain direction. For example, having access to a bookshelf will give me reference materials I can use during my research process. These come in the form of limited special draws that have a higher chance of occurring than normal draws. These will have a gilded border to differentiate them from normal draws. For example, the bookshelf grants the balance research option and 2 chances at the notation research option. That can only be gained when you use the bookshelf. When you start your initial research, you can choose which research aids to use, but it should be noted that each aid you use reduces your initial inspiration by 1. There are potentially a lot of things that could be used as research aids. I should experiment. So, because I have my research table right here, and I have an Arcane Workbench in close proximity to it, the Arcane Workbench appears down here. But I'm not going to bother with that. I'm going to throw my paper right here and create a theory. So, I got nothing. So, experimentation. You perform some random experiments to see if something can be discovered. Gain 15 to 30 progress in a completely random category. Or tinker with matter energy. Experiment with converting Essentia into energy similar to your current matter-energy network. Gain 10 to 15 energistics. I am not sure the boons of either of them, but I'm going to choose this one. I just researched it, and I got 23% in energistics. So if you look at the Thaumcraft, types of knowledge, so I already have level 6 energistics. And now I have 23% at increasing my level in energistics. Once I have energistics, I'm sure one of these will unlock for me. So my alchemy did unlock because I have enough in observation alchemy and observation fundamentals in order to unlock it. But I'm not going to do alchemy right now. We're only focused on the basics. But celestial observation is now started. So I'm going to start that now. I have noticed a link between the phases of the moon and speed at which the aura replenishes itself. I should investigate this phenomenon further and even expand my investigation to see if other heavenly bodies influence magic. A few minor tweaks to my thermometer should enable it to take measurements from objects in the sky. I should remember to carry some paper and scribing tools with me so I can take notes. Measuring the same body or quadrant of the sky more than once a day will not give me new insights. I need to study them over time to measure changes in their aural influence. The notes I gathered should come in handy for theory crafting. So I'm going to complete you. And now we're at Celestial Observation. So looking back at my research table, I have more things that I can choose. So, tinker with matter energy. I'm going to choose that again. I lost a bit of inspiration to do it, but I'm now at 35% at leveling up my energistics. Tinker with matter. Awesome. So this one is going to keep showing up, and I'm going to just keep going until my energistics. Nice. 58. Tinker with matter energy. Until my inspiration is completely up. Oh, I don't have it anymore. So now I have rethink. I get plus inspiration whenever I use this one. Or I can ponder and use up 2. So I'm going to rethink. You take a step back and reassess your findings. You get rid of invalid conclusions and proceed with fresh understanding. Lose 10 progress, divided evenly between all current categories, but I regain 1 inspiration and gain a bonus draw. So I'm going to lose 10 progress on my energistics if I choose rethink. I have 3 now. So I could reject my energistics, or once again, tinker with matter energy. So I lost that 10, but I gained almost 20 from before. Rethink. I'm not worried about it. Yeah, so I'm sure this is pretty boring, but I'm not sure how each of these matter. So fundamentals is at 9% minus 3. So I'm going to just use ponder. There we go. Now that ponder is there, I can complete the theory because I have something at 100%. Complete theory. There we go. My inspiration is all the way back, and I have gained 1 level in energistics. Oh, also, if you look at the, I have 142 V available in this chunk. If you hold your thermometer, then up in the upper left, you'll see that if you hold shift, it'll show you how much V is in this chunk, so 142.4. And I believe the magenta hasn't gone over that in the Thermonomicon yet, but that's probably how unstable the chunk is. So the more things that I do in this chunk, the more unstable it will become. And I'm sure we'll figure out more about that as we delve further into the Thermonomicon. So I came back into the real world because I found out I wasn't able to do celestial observation when I was in the mining dimension. I had to be in the real world to do it. So I just centered the thermometer on the sun, right-clicked, and it made the celestial note. So I have 2 solar celestial notes right now. Also, when you go into the real world, you can scan an inventory. And when you scan an inventory, anything that is inside that inventory will become, yeah, look at all that. So, I scanned this before, the one that has all of my ingots and ores in it, and, oh man, I unlocked, I don't even know how much. Let's go into, not my first steps, but my types of knowledge. Oh yeah, I'm level 33 Artificer now, level 14 Solar Flux, level 33 Energistics. So yeah, make sure you scan your inventories as well. Yeah, look how much I just gained from that. That's amazing. It also works with storage drawers as well. So I already scanned oak wood, but with the netherrack, I just got something out of that. And the same thing with all of these I've already scanned. But yeah, that's one thing that you need to remember to do is scan your chests. Because everything inside of a chest, oh, all my blood magic stuff. Oh. Alright, well, it was worth a shot. But yeah, it's one of the fun things to scan. Oh, you can also scan enemies as well. I've already scanned the Enderman, but the angry zombies are part of Thaumcraft. And if I see an angry zombie, I'll make sure to scan it as well. Alright, now that it is nighttime, one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to center the thermometer on the moon and right-click. And yep, celestial notes, lunar full, and it used a piece of paper. I'm also going to do this to each of the cardinal directions up in the night sky. So, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And there we go. I have celestial notes for each quadrant of the sky. So southern, western, northern, and eastern. If you try to do it in each of the... Yep, already studied that today. So I cannot do this anymore, and I have to do this every night until I have more than enough celestial notes to continue on with the research. So the Thermonomicon entry for this is a little it's not exactly true. So it says a few minor tweaks to my thermometer. That is not necessary. All you need to do is just have scribing tools and paper in your inventory and scan the night sky or the daytime. You can actually scan the sky during the day. You can only scan the sun. But that's whatever. I'm perfectly fine with that. And yeah, we're going to move on. You know, I said that we were going to move on, but looking at the stuff that we can do now, not really much. All I have to do is begin alchemy. And I think that doing all of the alchemy stuff is an episode all on its own. So, yeah, I'm going to leave that for next episode. I think I'm at like 25 minutes of this episode anyway. So, in between episodes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue scanning as much as possible, including doing some celestial observation. I'm going to run some theories in my workbench over here. And yeah, that's about it. We're going to begin alchemy in the next episode. But I am Kelly Engineering, and I hope that you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.